Oh, yes, this meeting is being recorded. All right. So again, I would like to start with thanking the organizers for organizing the summer for the third time DRP Turkey, and also allowing me to speak here today. I am one of the most senior people, I think, in the program. I'm doing my second postdoc, and I'm at the age where, your favorite football players are becoming veteran football players and they are starting to retire. Hopefully, this is going to be the last DRP Turkey where I give a talk as a postdoc. I will see how it goes. As a result, I would like to share some of the things that I know, because there are some younger people here, and you hear some things from older people, and then when you get older, you give them to younger people. That's how it works. That's how I see academia as a overall thing. I learn knowledge from other people, older mathematicians, and then I do some mathematics myself, and I'm going to pass it to the younger generations. So as part of this philosophy, I thought, I can give a talk about how to network, because that's something that young myself didn't know, and now I know a little bit more. Now I solve some things. I thought I could talk about this. So one thing I said in my abstract is that there are biases in mathematics among mathematicians, and that's a normal thing because we are all human beings. You see sometimes people give advice and they say mathematicians don't like when you do this, or even in daily life you see things like, oh, foreigners, yabancılar, or in outside Turkey people don't drink milk. I don't know, something like this, and as if outside of Turkey is one place and everyone that lives outside of Turkey does one thing only. The same thing goes with mathematicians. Mathematicians are human beings. There are many different types of mathematicians, and there are different people in every department. So I would like to start with emphasizing that mathematicians are human beings, and when you want to know them, or when you want them to know you, you should not expect a single response from people. You can write the most beautiful email to know someone, and maybe that day they're, I don't know, extremely, their mother died just the night before, or maybe they were in the middle of a very important computation and they should not be distracted, but you email them at that time and they get distracted and they are angry with you now. So then you may get a bad response. On the other hand, maybe they were bored with their computations and they were looking forward to do something that is not mathematics, and you emailed them, and now they can email you back. Out of all their boring work, they can take an hour to email you back. So things like this will happen, and you are going to meet people as mathematicians. So get used to this. You should not expect one single way of response to one single poke. If you can poke people the same way, and they may respond differently. They may respond differently for different reasons. It might be because of you. Maybe you need to change the way you poke them. It might be because of something else. All right. I would like to say, listen to what other people say, because I think experience is a good thing, and we should share our experiences more with other people. This can be in the form of many different things. People can give talks about this, like I did. I'm doing right now. But also it could be in any other form. It can be reading people's blogs about their experiences. It could be gossiping about some professors in some departments. Maybe they are really mean people, and maybe you should listen to them. Maybe they are known sexual predators, and you should not be working with them. Things like this happen, and listen to what other people say. If somebody was mean to someone else in every occasion, then maybe you want to be careful when you are approaching them, or at least set your expectations accordingly. But on the other hand, I would like to mention that you shouldn't listen to what everyone says, because people's experiences are different. Just like every mathematician is different, every graduate student or every undergraduate student is also different. And some people enjoy mathematicians who are more strict. For instance, they give you weekly readings, they give you this, they give you that, they give you problems to solve, and they expect you to respond in certain intervals. Now, whereas some people, they tell you, okay, just go read these and let me know what you enjoy, and we can try to figure out some problems to work on together. And we do not have to email me every day, but just check in every now and then. And depending on what your preference is, what your personality is, your experience will change. So listen to what other people say, but also do not listen to what everyone says all the time. And I want to say, be yourself, because it's not worth trying to change yourself for some other people. You are going to network, but network as yourself. Do not try to be someone else. Like I said, the first reason is that it's not worth it. Second reason is probably yourself is much better than what you're trying to be. Actually, that's my third thing too. You usually suck at being someone else, and people can tell, even though you think that you are playing nicely. People can tell when you are being funny, when you are being not yourself. So these are the things that I would like to say before I start what you can do to network. Also, I would like to say, be creative. I didn't write it here, but one thing I find a lot in academia is that there are these rules some people set, and everybody's trying to, well, most people are trying to restrict themselves to that. You would like to write a paper, and there is only one way to write a paper, and if you write something slightly different, they will be like, no, you shouldn't be doing this. Or when you are writing a diversity and inclusion, equity statement, you should mention this, but not that. There are these kind of advices some people give, and I really hate this, because we are creative people, we are mathematicians, we should be creative writing, and I don't like to put myself in a situation where I am like everyone else. So I try to be creative. All right, so the first thing I want to tell you is you should go to events. This is not easy for everyone. I'm aware this is a privilege. But now that we have online seminars, for instance, anywhere around the world, try to find them and try to be a part of these online communities. There are seminars, there are workshops, there are conferences that are going on. There are summer schools, there are math villages, plural. There's Nesin Math Village, there's Çakılarası Math Village, there's Bilimler Köyü in Turkey, there is Gökova, again in Turkey. There are things that you can go and meet with other people. That's the most important thing that I found as a young mathematician, as a young person, when I started going to Turkish Mathematical Society's Karaköy meetings when I was in high school. I did not understand the seminar talks at all, that they were every month, but still they were fun to attend and see what kind of math you enjoy, or what kind of people are there around. So when you go to a seminar, I think it's more, it's if you are really not at a level of like a senior grad student or a postdoc, what's important is that you kind of get a flavor of what kind of math you understand, you like more. But I would really recommend going to everything. Even if you hate analysis, go to analysis talk. Even if you do not enjoy algebra, go to an algebra talk and sit there and try to learn one thing, or maybe two things if you are passionate. You are not going to understand most of the talk. You are not going to. But try to, get one thing from it, and do not be discouraged if you do not understand. But like I said, going to events, going to these kind of things is the best thing you can do to network with other people. After these events, there are usually some tea time or something going on, and try to stay there and try to talk with people. Now, when I'm saying this, I realize that if you, for instance, live in a place where you have to travel 2 hours to attend these events, that's not possible. If you have children and if you need to take them from school, you cannot stay for these tea times. If life happens, you cannot stay. But if you're a young person without any other, responsibility, go to these things and talk with people. So that's that. Seminars and other things. You should try to attend as much as possible, and that's when people will see your faces, and that's when people will, know your names. Okay, and another thing is that if you have the means, you should create events. So when I was in grad school, I lived in a place, in a house with 4 other mathematicians from my department, and we did have a whiteboard in our living room, and we had seminars every weekend. And we invited people from our department. We invited people from our other universities. We invited people sometimes from other countries when they were traveling. And I've met a lot of people there, and I still talk with some of them. And that's the only place I met them. I created these seminars, and then I learned about them, those people, and I started talking with them. And sometimes during these talks, I learned math, but sometimes I just learned about these people. So if you have the means, if you're an undergraduate student, for instance, and if you have 4 friends that you can talk with, that you do homeworks with, for instance, create a homework event where you meet every week at certain time and you do homework together. And then maybe that evolves next semester to an event where if you're not taking the same course, for instance, where you talk with each other about the different courses that you're taking. And then next semester that evolves into a seminar where everybody talks a half hour about a topic they like. Things like this evolve. It doesn't have to be clearly set at the very beginning, but let it be, and try to meet with people as much as you can, especially your peers, because not only your professors and other people are important to network with. Your peers are also important, because they will go around the world, and if you keep in touch with them, you will know about more opportunities, or they will email you and they will say, hey, I found this job advertisement and I know that you are working in this area, which is actually what I did just the other day. For instance, Swansea Mathematics department in Wales are looking for a permanent person for working in algebra, applied algebra or applied geometry. And I messaged a friend that I met in math village when I was in undergrad, so 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I met this person. But I know she's working in these areas and she's looking for a job, so I just forwarded that message. And that she's my peer. We are around the same generation. Okay, where's my screen? I lost my screen. Yes. All right. So the next thing I want to say is you would like to have a professional website. Do not add too much to it. It doesn't have to be, you know, filled with PDF files and this and that. Have your photo there. Have your one paragraph of about me. This is my name. This is my email address. This is whatever, what I like in math. And that's that, not too much. I like Shefika's webpage a lot, for instance. I actually praised her about this previously. If you go to any academic's webpage, you're going to see not too much. Have one for yourself. There are ways to do this. There's Google Pages. There is GitHub pages and Google sites and this and that. A simple thing will work. And create a blog if you're a younger person. Write as much as you can. Create posts from classes that you are taking or little things that you learn from a book that you were reading. Write as much as you can and people will read them. It will be cringy at some point and you're going to be like, oh, what am I doing? This is just bad writing, and you're going to erase it. I have created 5 or 6 blogs in the last, 15 years probably. And I wrote about mathematics that I like. I wrote about math education. I wrote about math politics. I wrote about this and that. And at some point I was embarrassed and I deleted all of them. But it's a good thing, like people look at them and there were people who approached me by saying, hey, I read one of the things that you wrote and that was helpful for me. And it will improve your writing at the same time. So I really suggest you do this. Like I said, you should collaborate with your peers. This can be in many forms, and I actually talk about this, so I'm not going to say it again, but doing homeworks together is one way to start doing this. And then maybe watch a movie about a mathematician's life one weekend together. You can do this, and nowadays it can also be online, and people, like the organizers of these programs, are allowing you to meet other people online, so you can also do this online. Meet as many people as you can and do things with them when you're together. And you would like to meet with people not only in seminars and stuff. You are also going to meet with them through email. So I made this very terse prepare before email. Well, I would like to talk actually a little bit more about this, because all the things that I told you earlier, probably you've heard from someone. I think they're important and I think they should be, emphasized again, but everybody tells you go to seminars and do this and do that. So I'm not saying anything new. I know, I'm aware. But these kind of, this thing that I'm just going to say now, is I've never heard from anyone else. So I think it's, well, actually I've heard from only one person. So maybe I would like to kind of popularize it a little bit more. So there are different ways to introduce yourself to a person, right? And there are different reasons that you are doing this. For instance, you're an undergraduate student and you would like to go to graduate school in some university. and you would like to email a professor there and be like, hey, I would like to come to that university and I would like to work with you. And that's a good email, but there are also things that you can do to prepare before this. For instance, if you would like to know that person, let's say that person is working in algebra. If they have a web page, go to their web page and look at a couple of papers they wrote. Or maybe if they have lecture notes, look at them. And I don't know if I can share this, but you can make a reading list. Actually, I'm not going to share. But there are like, maybe I will. Let's do this together. I'm going to stop sharing this. And I'm going to share some other screen. I'm going to share this entire window. I think you can see my entire window now. So there's this, I'm going to use Notion to do this. I'm going to make a reading list. So let's look at here. Gargi. I know Gargi because she's my mentee. But I know that she's interested in representation theory, locally compact groups. And let's say she wants to work with some person in, where do you want to go, Gargi? I cannot make this up right now. Where do you want to go to grad school?
I don't know, probably somewhere in Europe. I don't want to go to Europe.
What?
Like with the subject? What
Yes.
subject? Analysis.
Analysis. And do you know a country that you would like to be in?
Not really.
Okay. Shefika does analysis. She does probability. Right, that's analysis. But you want to do analysis, and let's see. Analysis professors in University of Toronto. Let's find math department. Let's try to find someone. I'm just trying to demonstrate something. Maybe this wasn't the greatest idea, but James Arthur. He's now retiring, but he's one of the most famous people in the area. Do you know James Arthur, Gargi?
No.
Okay, so he did work in representation theory and Lagrange's program. It's a lot of work. As you can see, there's a lot of work. Maybe this wasn't the right person because he did a lot of work. But let's see his papers. So these are arranged by topic. And let's say you are interested in, harmonic analysis and group representations. That's the general exposition. So you look at this and you are reading his harmonic analysis and group representations. And okay, you are going to take this, copy it, and you're going to put, here as a list. There you go. That's your first. You can make a table here. I'm just going to do a very quick thing. But then you are reading this, you read this, and you go, and it says like the following two articles are general introductions to the Lagrange program. Okay, cool. This Galbart person wrote an elementary introduction to the Lagrange program. So you Google this, and then you spend like half hour. Ugh. How do I copy this? An elementary introduction to Lagrange program. There we go. Here is a 1984 paper. So you read this, you take this, and you put here. Maybe you should write the names of these things. Title here, Arthur. Harmonic analysis. You can change this to be something else. Write names here. And then when you have this list of things, that maybe 10 papers that you collected here, and books that you collected here, and lecture notes that you collected here, then you can take this and share it. What you do, you publish this, let's say, to web. Now this is published to the web. It's this esentepe.notion.site, and anyone that has this link can read this. So you copy this link and you put this in your email when you say, hey, I am Özgür Esentepe. I would like to learn about harmonic analysis, and I would like to go to graduate school at some point. I made a reading list like this. Do you think this is a reasonable list? And do you have any other recommendations? And one thing about mathematicians, most of the mathematicians, like I told you at the beginning, that not everybody is the same, right? People are different. But one thing about the majority is that they like talking about their math. They like talking about what they are interested in. So if you tell them you looked at their things and you read their things, they are going to be happy. And they're going to want to talk to you more. And if they see a list that you already prepared, they will give you more, or they will tell you, oh, don't read that. I hate that person. Maybe, I don't know. Or read definitely this one because this is a good paper. Or this book is very useful. You can do this, you can do that. So when I say prepare for your email, I meant that. Another thing is, this is if you are a little bit more senior, if you are writing, if you have a question, a specific question that you would like to share with a person. Let's say you are in graduate school and you would like to ask someone, hey, I'm working on this problem. I came to this point and I'm stuck here. Do you have any recommendations about how I can continue? The way to do this is overleaf. You start an overleaf folder and you write your writing and you write your problem there and make an editable share link so that when you email, they can write their answer to overleaf. And you will not believe this maybe, but I've done something like this last December, and we have a finished paper now that we posted on archive in June. In 6 months, that collaboration grew, and we started emailing back and forth. Hey, I changed the overleaf file a little bit, you can look at it. Oh, hey, I looked at your changes and now I changed it a little bit too. But it was someone that I knew already, but just by sharing this overleaf file at the beginning, it became something else. So making a reading list before you email someone is a good idea, and making an overleaf file before you email someone about a specific question is also a good idea. It shows people that you are actually serious about what they're doing, what you're doing, and it's not just a stupid email. Did I prepare anything else? No, that was my last slide. Before I want to stop, I want to say one or two things. People don't take everything too seriously. So like I said, there are things that you can do before emailing the person, but do not, how should I say it? Do not take it too personally if you prepare very well and they do not respond the way you hoped. And last thing I should say is that nobody's that important. It's not going to be the end of the world if you try to network and if it fails and if somebody, didn't like you that much. There's going to be a place for you if you want it. There's going to be a place for you. I got rejected a lot. I submitted job applications on math jobs for months, mostly because my wife moved to England and I wanted a job in England, so I started applying very, very early during my first postdoc. So I started applying in January 2021, and I had given up around June 2022 after a year and a half. But then there was a position available at the University of Leeds. They got a grant, a brand new grant, and they were hiring exactly in my area. I would say I'm one of the 5 people that could hire around the world. I was the only one who was available, I guess, at that point. But it was my area. It was someone that I knew. I have spoken with previously, and I got the job. So, I mean, this is a good story. There are also bad stories out there. Like they apply for 18 months and they don't get anything. Everybody has different experiences. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, and if you don't get something, then it's not going to be the end of the world either. You can use your math skills still in other places. And if you meet a lot of people in this journey, it's going to be something that you added to yourself, however long this takes. Sometimes you stop after undergrad, sometimes you stop after your master's degree, sometimes you stop after your PhD, sometimes you stop after your first postdoc, sometimes you can stop after your second postdoc. I don't know what I'm going to do later, but it's still a good story. Like you will collect stories to tell the next person. So I think it's a cool thing. And if you meet more people, there's going to be more stories. So I think that's why networking is good. Thank you. I thought I will never be able to finish.
Yeah, thank you so much, Özgür. Thank you. And I will stop.